My name's Sarah. I am the coordinator for innovation and design at Intermediate Unit 1. And I'll let Michelle go ahead and introduce herself. She's actually currently in our Fab Lab up at one of our campus schools.
Good afternoon. I'm Michelle. I work as a social worker in our campus schools in the Fab Labs. So it's a unique position.
Yes. So there we go. What we wanted to share with you today was who we are, who we serve, what social emotional learning is. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Maybe not necessarily in a Fab Lab setting, but maybe in your classroom, after school program, or a different type of setting. But we're going to go over how we address SEL, our students' SEL needs in the Fab Lab classroom. We do have some resources to share with you. And then if we have time, we'll open the floor up to questions. If you have any. If not, we do have our contacts provided at the end of the session. So feel free to email us or reach out that way if you'd like.
Okay, so social emotional learning is a term that's coined by the Castle Collaborative. And I had a short video here that I was going to show to you about what is social emotional learning, because it is a lot of information. And the Castle wheel indicates 5 different areas of competence. And I've heard it through a number of speakers today. And just our last speaker who talked about persistence and resiliency and not giving up. So part of what I do is an explicit instruction on what is social emotional learning, as well as doing some transition skills. We begin each class with a mindful moment, and hopefully we'll have time to demonstrate that too. But I want to give you some background information on what is social emotional learning, because maybe many in the makerspace aren't aware of that.
Think about the young people in your lives and all the different places where they're learning about themselves, how to relate to others, and work together on goals. How can we intentionally create learning experiences that will help all young people develop and maintain positive relationships, become lifelong learners, and contribute to a more caring, just world? Educators, researchers, community members, families, and the students themselves agree. What we need is social and emotional learning, or SEL. SEL is the process through which young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes that help us to understand ourselves, connect with others, achieve our goals, and support our communities. We all need opportunities to learn and engage in environments where we feel safe, valued, and a sense of belonging. So how does SEL help schools, families, and communities work together so that all young people have these kinds of learning experiences and achieve success in education, careers, and life? Castle's framework identifies 5 areas of competence that together help us develop a healthy sense of who we are, manage stress, understand the views of others, and work together to create schools and communities where everyone can grow their strengths and interests. Self-awareness is about how we think about ourselves and who we are. It includes understanding our culture, our thoughts, feelings, and what we believe we're capable of, and understanding how these things can influence our behaviors and beliefs. Self-management is the ability to manage those emotions, thoughts, and actions in different situations so that we can achieve individual and collective goals. This includes coping with stress and anxiety, persevering through challenges, and taking action to create positive change. Social awareness is how we understand others, how we learn to take different perspectives and empathize, even with people who are different from us. It also includes understanding how the broader norms and systems around us influence how we develop and create a sense of belonging. Relationship skills are how we connect and engage effectively with others, and how we form lasting friendships and connections. This includes communicating clearly, solving problems together, managing conflict and disagreements, and standing up for ourselves and the rights of others. Lastly, responsible decision-making is how we put it all together to make caring and constructive choices. This includes thinking critically about consequences, analyzing the impact of our actions on ourselves and others, and identifying solutions that support our collective well-being. We continue to develop and practice SEL throughout our lives and can adapt and apply these competencies across different contexts and cultures. How we develop SEL is impacted by our environments, which is why we need to work together across classrooms, schools, families, and communities. In the classroom, students can be explicitly taught SEL skills and also can practice and apply SEL during core subjects, like discussing different perspectives in social studies and language arts, or collaboratively problem solving in science or math. SEL is most effective when supported by evidence-based programs and trusting relationships where students are treated as partners in their learning. Beyond the classroom, SEL can be intentionally promoted throughout the school experience, from the way they're greeted in the morning to how discipline practices are carried out and how adults themselves develop and model positive relationships and the SEL competencies. Outside of school, families and caregivers provide the earliest and ongoing learning and interactions for their children. So it's important that schools listen to and authentically partner with families to help shape SEL priorities and strategies for supporting their children. Similarly, when schools partner with community organizations to align their efforts, SEL opportunities can be strengthened and students benefit even more. With SEL, we can help create schools and learning spaces where all young people feel connected, inspired, engaged, and ready to contribute to the world around them.
Okay, so that explains what SEL is and the 5 areas of competence. So you could see that self-awareness and self-management are really primarily like the 2 skills that we focus on whenever we begin class, so that we are working in the present moment without worrying about where we were the period before, the class before, and where we're going to go next. So we want our students to be able to focus and attend to the project that they're working on.
And Michelle, just to clarify, because all we could hear was the sound, the video wasn't playing.
Oh, sorry.
I'll have to click the links. Just let me know which links you want me to click on so they can all
Okay.
see, since I'm sharing. But they
Okay.
were able to hear it clearly, but just let me know if there's any other links you want me to click on.
Okay, I shared my screen. I thought you were seeing. All right, thank you.
Oh, just me.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that link is also in the resource list too. So you can view that because it shows that the 5 areas of competence across all the domains. So we are in the Fab Lab classroom, and that extends out into the school building and to into the family partnerships and into the community partnerships. Okay, Sarah, sorry.
No worries. Next slide for you.
Yeah.
All right.
So how we use SEL in the Fab Lab, we begin with a transition activity. And so I'll bring a chime. All right. So we're going to begin with a mindful moment. And we'll typically do a breathing exercise. And we may just be doing that on our own, like let's get comfortable in our seats. Let's bring our attention to here and now. Mindfulness is about paying attention to your thoughts and your feelings without judgment and with curiosity. So that's really what we want to bring into the classroom is some focused attention, curious minds that are ready to learn, and also still bodies, right? So we want our students not to be agitated and maybe over anxious or have some emotional difficulties in that moment while they're working with the machines and working through the whole process of design and fabrication. So I do have some links. I don't know that we have time to go through a breathing exercise, but I do have, Sarah, is there a link there for Go Noodle? No. Okay, well, and another project that we did, maybe we want to go back to music and fabrication. So we could take like a specific Fab Lab. Maybe we're just doing music. Maybe we're doing some different tooling. And then we'll do a SEL lesson around being attentive to our senses. So in addition to noticing the breath and being aware of ourselves, paying attention to the sounds around us. So we'll listen for the sounds that are closest to us. What do we hear? Is it just our breath? Maybe we're hungry. It's before lunch. We hear our stomach growl. Listen to the sounds in the room. Do we hear the air ducts? Pay close attention. What do we hear outside in the hallways? Doors opening, closing. Are people speaking in the hallways that are distracting to us? And maybe, and further out, take that sound further out. Do we hear sounds outdoors? Do we hear, the garbage collection? Do we hear traffic on the street? So we will take a mindful moment to pay attention to sound if we're working on a fabrication project having to do with music. So we tie our lessons in SEL with the Fab Lab curriculum project that is happening in that classroom. Anything you want to add there?
Yeah, so you can see some of the activities, and I don't know if you've attended maybe some of the Fab EDU sessions in the past, but we had talked about our music and digital fabrication sessions that we've gone through. But just working with Michelle and our Fab instructors in the class, we don't have a standard music instructor. So this is how we're able to also incorporate the arts, but incorporating that SEL in there as well has really boosted that class participation for sure. Instead of the students coming in, I mean, Fab Labs are exciting. Everybody's excited. You want to go in, you want to touch all the things and make all the things that are in there. But now students are able to come in, they get focused on that daily activity that we're going to be doing to really have a successful project and a successful time in the Fab Lab. And I'll talk a little bit more too once Michelle is done about why this is so important in our Fab Lab. So I don't know if you want to go over some of the resources that we have, Michelle, before we.
Okay. And in addition to sound in the Fab Lab with what we have machined, maybe we'll listen to, we use mindful music moments from the Cleveland Symphony and the Ohio Council of Arts. So that is something where it's just a short SEL lesson around maybe a symphonic piece. And one of the resources that we had under mindful music moments was, if you want to play that, was around musicians creating sound from the zoo and just native sounds. So it wasn't about something that you had to actually make in order to create. If you have time for that, Sarah, but if not, you can, there's 5 minutes left.
Well, we can, yeah, maybe we'll see about at the end.
Okay.
So while I still have Michelle with us, I just wanted to go over why using SEL specifically in our Fab Lab school settings is so important. The students that we serve can range from, we serve students with special education needs or alternative education needs. So those students can have anything from mental health concerns to not necessarily, some of them have a little bit more extreme handicaps that we try to make sure we can include and have them participate in the Fab Lab somehow. So having a student come in that might not be having the best day, the Fab Lab, in our experience, has been a great release for them, where they can come in. There's really no failing when you're in the Fab Lab. They're always walking away with a successful project, but setting them up for success from the start with these SEL activities and mindsets really changes how the class goes. I have been in the classrooms where Michelle's been in there and she's done the activity and everything before we start the lesson. And I've been in there when we don't do it before the lesson. And you can definitely tell that there's a difference. But this gives our students the opportunity to set themselves up for success and to really enjoy that Fab Lab setting. We do have 3 campus schools that have 3 digital fabrication labs within them. Each campus school is different. They serve a different population of students. But adding this in has definitely boosted the productivity level and focus level of those students within that classroom.
Yeah, I just wanted to add too that because we are a highly specialized special education in facilities in our Fab Labs, that we do have social workers in all the classrooms. So some of the lessons that we do in Fab Lab then are cross-curricular. So they'll go back into their regular classrooms with their teacher and their social worker. And we have more information about what is mindfulness and how that can be incorporated across academic settings as well as in life. So we are trying to teach our students skills, not only with their creativity and their talents in the Fab Lab, but also giving them some core skills in career readiness, which are those soft skills, those SEL skills.